Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video we're going to be discussing that which I know all of you want to hear about, the next Bitcoin bull run. But more specifically, I'm going to be discussing why it's starting right now, like literally right now, under our noses now. Guys, in this video I'm going to show you a ridiculous amount of evidence that a new bull run is coming and why it's starting a lot sooner than you may have thought. I'm going to show you why we're in the disbelief stage of the next bull run, why Bitcoin is in prime condition to produce a huge Bitcoin bull run starting in Q1 of next year, and how you need to prepare for it. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps out the channel when you do that, and subscribers are always appreciated. So go ahead and hit that button if you're new here. Guys, we do daily cryptocurrency content. I wouldn't want you to miss any of it. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Guys, there's something you need to understand, and for all of you guys who just joined CT2A, because we are now well over 1,000 members in the Academy, there's this video in the Academy called Market Structure, and in that video we talk about market cycles as well. Guys, market cycles are hugely important, and it's a very big deal that you guys actually pay attention to them, and you follow them, and you try to at least apply them to the market that you're working in. And this cheat sheet right here, guys, is showing you exactly what we need to be looking at and what we're going to be basing our analysis off of in today's video. As you can see here, a market goes through many different phases of psychology, of mass psychology. That's another video in the course, is mass psychology. That's what this is talking about, is the psychology of the people working in the market. When the market starts blowing up and up and up and up, there's a little bit of a lag. People get optimistic when they should have been optimistic 6 months earlier. They get anxiety when they should have gotten anxiety 6 months earlier. They get disbelief when they should have been disbelieving 6 months earlier. There's a lag between what the masses think and between what is happening on the market, because let me tell you something, the market reacts, and it takes a little bit of time for the human brain to accept that what it's seeing is actually true. So even though Bitcoin went into a long bull run this year, that doesn't mean that everybody believes that the bull market is still coming, but that doesn't mean that it's not coming. That's what's called the disbelief stage. If we zoom out and we apply that chart that we just saw, there's a lot of optimism and hope and euphoria over here. There's a lot of deep, dark depression and despair over here. And right now, guys, just the same way as we were having emotions in these two zones that we shouldn't have been, contrary emotions to what would have been profitable emotions, people are disbelieving that this rally is about to carry into a new bull market. So that's why I'm making this video. I'm going to prove them wrong. So guys, it's all well and good to say that we're at the disbelief stage of a market, but people have been saying that for the entire history of Bitcoin when they want to say that Bitcoin's going on a bull run. How is this video I'm making here any different from any of those? Well, that's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. Let me show you. Guys, about 6 months ago, Bitcoin confirmed that it was entering a new bull market. The 20 weekly exponential moving average is a very strong confirming indicator of a new bull market starting, and Bitcoin broke above it. Furthermore, Bitcoin had a golden cross between the 50 daily simple moving average and the 200 daily simple moving average. I could continue going down that rabbit hole, but there's literally about 15 different indicators that predict the start of bull markets, and all of them were triggered here. Bitcoin went into a technical bull market. That has been proven to be true. Bitcoin was in a bull market here. Bitcoin's been in a little bit of a mini bear market right now, but in the history of Bitcoin, when that happens, Bitcoin still continues with the original bullish trend. But okay, that's all well and good. Bitcoin went into a bull market 6 months ago, but now it's in a downtrend. What does it matter? Well, the reason it matters, guys, is because if you look back on the history of Bitcoin here on BLX, then we're going to see that a lot of times when Bitcoin has a blow off top and enters the bull market around here like it did, then that does mean that the bull market's coming, even if Bitcoin trades sideways here and actually lowers in price action over the course of over 200 days. Just because Bitcoin goes into healthy consolidation at the beginning of a bull market does not mean that we're not in a bull market. Bitcoin has had a little bit larger of a pullback in this market than we did over here, but that's not to say that it's still not relevant. Let me also show you a few things that have happened recently to maybe show you the point I'm making. We talked about this in yesterday's video, guys. The 50 and the 100 weekly simple moving average are crossing bullish. It's called a golden cross. Now, golden crosses are normally between the 50 and the 200, but technically a golden cross just states that a shorter term moving average moves above a longer term moving average. So this is a golden cross, and as I showed you in yesterday's video, which you can watch right here, and you totally should because it's a really good video, we talked about that golden cross and why it was so important. But guys, like I said, it's not just about one technical indicator. It never is. You never want to base your trades or your investments off of one. So what else do we have here? There's a lot. Let's dive into it. One of the main things I want to talk about is something that I haven't even talked about a whole lot on the channel because I was kind of saving it, and I think this is the perfect video to show it to you guys. Check this out. We have a downtrend of support here on the hourly chart. It shows up on the 4 hourly also, moving back to late September. But that's not the only thing we need to look at, because guess what? We also have a downtrend of resistance right here. And if we go ahead and color that red, What do we see, guys? We see a falling wedge. Where have we heard of wedges recently? Well, guys, the last time I heard the market talking about wedges, it was a rising wedge right over here with resistance right there, support right there, and we broke bearish out of it. Well, that's interesting because what normally happens with wedges is you normally break 70% of the time, you will break in the opposite direction that the wedge is pointing. And again, guys, that's something that we talk about in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy in the video Wedges and Pennants right here. So what do we have on the shorter term? We have a wedge that broke bearish just like it was statistically supposed to. And now out here on the 4-hourly chart, guys, we have a descending wedge, a falling wedge. 70% of the time, these are supposed to break bullish. They are trend reversals. And guys, Bitcoin's getting pretty close to the end of this. If we go ahead and extend these out really quickly, and we see the wedge comes to an end down here around $5,800. You see that right over there? Well, guess what, guys? If we go back on our other chart here, then we're going to see, oh, hey, guess what? This wedge, it points right to major support. We're talking about $6,000, the most important level of support in the history of Bitcoin. I can argue all day with you about whether or not Bitcoin is going to break 6K, but needless to say, I really don't think it is. And even if it does, a break slightly below $6,000 would likely result in a major bounce to the upside. So not only is this falling wedge pointing towards a major level of support that we were probably going to bounce off of anyway if we went down there in the first place, it statistically predicts a bullish breakout. Why is that important though? Why does it matter that we break bullish out of this one wedge and rally maybe $500 only because of it? Here's why, guys. And it's very, very simple. Go out to the daily chart, turn on your 20 exponential moving average, and zoom in. What are you going to find? You're going to find the 20 daily EMA, hopefully, if you did everything right. And what you'll see is that if Bitcoin breaks bullish out of this wedge, and this is a very large wedge, so it has a price target up here, then we break up above the 20 daily exponential moving average. Furthermore, on the weekly chart, the 20 weekly exponential moving average is the thing that maintains bull markets. Not only that, guys, but furthermore, if you look on the weekly chart, this is a very important level of support on the weekly chart as well. And if Bitcoin breaks to the upside and hits those price targets I was just talking about from this falling wedge up close to $10,000, we get back up above the 20 weekly exponential moving average, which is confirmation of a bull market. That's one of the ways you define a bull market, is Bitcoin getting above that level. You see how all this is falling into place, guys? There's so much here. And on its own, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but everything kind of starts coming together. I have a lot more to show you. We're not done yet. One thing I also want to mention in passing, and it's funny I'm mentioning this in passing because it's such a big deal, but it's this. It's the golden pocket theory. There's the idea that Bitcoin reverses somewhere just a little bit past 61.8% on the Fibonacci level. As you can see down here, if you draw 61.8 and the 65%, you get what's called the golden pocket in here. Bitcoin bounced off of that. Guess what? That's not the first time that Bitcoin has done that. Because if we use our Fibonacci tool and we predict where the high for that rally should have been, look at this. Look at that, in between 61 and 65%, that's exactly where we topped out back in late July. And that's exactly where we're bottoming out right now, is in that golden pocket. And furthermore, guys, we can't go anywhere unless people are exuberant. And let's check something out over here on the longs chart. Bitcoin has rallied its longs 40% in about 10 days. If you look on the entire history of the Bitfinex long chart, this is a historical move. It's very rare that the Bitcoin longs rally that quickly. And the reason is because we're getting close to a bull market and people can sense it. But guys, hang on. There's still a lot more because there's short-term bullishness we need to talk about also. If Bitcoin's going to break this downtrend of the falling wedge, there is short-term stuff that we need to look at. One thing a lot of people have been talking about lately is the CME futures gap, so let's look at that. As you guys can see, if we look on the hourly chart here on CME futures, there is a pretty big gap right here that Bitcoin probably is going to fill. That would rally Bitcoin up here to $7,800. If Bitcoin rallied up and filled that gap right around here at the moment, that would result in a bullish breakout of this long-term downtrend, which constitutes this longer-term falling wedge, which would constitute a bullish breakout moving in the direction of breaking that 20 daily and weekly exponential moving average. The dominoes start to fall. And by the way, guys, I'm still not done. There's more to show you. Look at the MACD here. We just crossed bullish for the first time in 2 months. The last time we crossed bullish, we didn't really have a whole lot of the stuff going on that we did now, but we still had a bullish movement a little while later. Bitcoin has just crossed bullish and has a lot of room to run here because we're so far below the MACD. This movement right here could also help propel Bitcoin above this downtrend and get us above that 20 weekly exponential moving average, which is sitting up here somewhere. Guys, I can keep going here. I have a lot more notes over here on my other monitor to show you about why Bitcoin is moving into a bull market, why we're in the disbelief stage, why people don't believe that we are going in the direction that we are going. But at the end of the day, guys, I think it comes down to this. It doesn't come down to showing you technicals. It comes down to speaking on human psychology. People have been beaten down in this market so much in the last 2 years during this 2018 bear market, during this accumulation phase and massive fall over here. Even during this rally, it looked like things were going well, and then we kind of got our hopes crushed. People have had the snot knocked out of them by this bear market, and frankly, I think they're tired. And they've been conditioned to believe that Bitcoin cannot go into a bull market or that Bitcoin cannot go back to all-time high. They've been conditioned to disbelieve all of that. But that doesn't mean it's true. That's the really cool thing about technical analysis and markets, is that they will continue throwing you curveballs and making you think things that are not true. No matter how experienced you are, you're always going to get blindsided. But if you're able to implement technical analysis and you're able to use it in a professional manner and take into account all of both sides of the argument, then you can oftentimes find what you need to learn in this market. And right now, guys, what I think we need to be looking at in this market is how Bitcoin is going to rally from here. Because frankly, I don't see a good argument for Bitcoin falling below $5,000. Maybe below 6K, but I don't see it falling below 5. No matter what happens, guys, the time horizon for this, it is not this month. I'm not saying a lot of this is going to happen this month, but in Q1 of 2020, moving into the halving right up over here, we're probably going to be trading above $12,000 again, and we're probably going to be on our way to all-time high. So before we wrap the video out, what do you need to do? What is the action step? What's the trade? Here's what you need to be doing, guys. You need to be making damn sure that you are investing. If you are in the cryptocurrency markets, if you believe in this space for the long term, if you really do believe that Bitcoin is a good investment for the next 10 years, don't take my word for it, do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor, don't sue me. But if you really do believe in this market like a lot of us say we do, you need to put your money where your mouth is. Right now is a great time to be dollar cost averaging into cryptocurrency. For those of you guys who don't know what DCAing is and you're in the academy, because a lot of you have joined recently, this video down here, dollar cost averaging, goes over it. You need to be dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, and now might be a time to be putting a lump sum into Bitcoin that you might hold on to for 5 or 10 years, because it might be unprofitable for the next month or two if you buy now. But nevertheless, guys, no matter what Bitcoin does, one thing I want you to remember before I wrap the video out is this. In the last 2 years, from the time we hit all-time high at 20K, Bitcoin, the Lightning Network, its blockchain, the community, the fundamentals, the regulatory landscape, the technicals, the YouTube space, the amount of legitimate products in the cryptocurrency space, they have exploded in value. The underlying intrinsic value of Bitcoin has done nothing but gone up during this time. We went to $20,000 once with 2 years less development because of only really hype and the technicals and fundamentals at the time. Add 2 years of development to that, why can't we do it again? So guys, I do hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, let us know in the comment section down below. We worked really hard on this video. I put a lot of time into this one in particular. Anyway, guys, before we wrap the video up, there's a question I want to ask you. I want to ask you to think about why you're in the cryptocurrency space. Are you actually just here to make money? Is that really the only reason you're here? I'm not saying, are you also here for technology? Who cares about that right now? That's not the point I'm making. Are you actually here for the money? Are you actually here to make millions? Or is there something else to it? Because what I've found in the last 2 years of working here on cryptocurrency and on the YouTube channel and in business and entrepreneurship is that oftentimes we're moving in the direction of a goal that we thought we wanted, but which actually was only a part of it or didn't even have anything to do with what we really wanted at all. And I've come to the realization that if you're not crystal clear on what will make you fulfilled and happy and what you're passionate about, then you shouldn't be spending time on that. There's something really interesting about successful people, and it's that they don't care about what people are going to think of them if they miss a shot in pool. They don't care what people think of them if they drop their motorcycle right next to a school bus. I might be talking from experience on these things. They don't care about what people think of them. They don't care about maybe certain relationships that they know are detrimental to them, because the way that they get successful is they only care about certain things. And I'll tell you something, the people that care most about money are either one, lying to themselves, or two, are probably not going to be successful, because money is not a big enough motivator to do the kind of work that is required to become successful at the thing you are working in. There's 7 billion people on planet Earth, and the people that become the most successful are the people that are so passionate about their work that it doesn't feel like work at all. So moving on here into December, where we're supposed to be spending time with our families and enjoying ourselves and wrapping out the year and planning for next, let's remember that the reason that we're in cryptocurrency, maybe I'm speaking for myself here, is not actually to make a lot of money. It's to have freedom. It's to have control over our own schedule. It's to be our own boss. It's to be able to work from anywhere in the world. It's not necessarily for making a crap ton of money. And even if that is your only and most important motive, you still want that money for a reason. So your motives are also elsewhere. Remember what you're fighting for, because if you lose sight of the reason you're putting all this work in, you're going to lose your motivation and you're never going to become the successful trader that you want to be. So guys, with that, I am actually going to wrap out the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Tell me in the comment section if you did, and if there's anything we can improve upon. I'd love to hear your comments, your feedback, and your criticism. Yes, I'm asking for your constructive criticism in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear it. But anyway, guys, that is going to have to wrap it up for today's video. I do want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.